Hi everyone, this is the review retro for Sprint 147 and the forecast for Sprint 148 of SugarLearning. The Sprint goal was to examine and update the infrastructure as code to support deploying for Azure China. That has been done. It was a 1-week sprint with public holiday for most members. Attendees, as listed, including Adam and Yuli. 162 hours of build from Baba, Ozair, Tino, Tom, myself, and Jim. In terms of the work completed, as discussed, we now have a largely working China deployment. We do not have the identity server working yet.
What's infrastructure as code? Sorry, ISC.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, so we can automatically deploy to the Chinese system.
Okay, great.
Work was also conducted to resolve issues with reordering and navigation in modules containing archived items. So when you're hitting skip, you don't unexpectedly skip to an unexpected archived item. We've continued work with
Sorry, that archive item, is that still got a day left?
That's still got a day left.
What was
specifically what I'm needing is to talk through and accept the solution that Ozair has put forward to solve the problem.
Right, okay.
We continued work on the trending items widget, and there was some further implementation work.
Okay, these have all been re-estimated already, yeah? These efforts on the right.
These have already, yes, this is all what's remaining. We had one item brought into the sprint. This was to do with searching for with empty phrase results, resulting in empty progress bars. Ozair brought this in because he was blocked on all other items. We also had an inductee conduct improvements for our documentation.
Okay.
Do you have any questions with regards to the PBI, the work that was done?
It looks like there's 5 man weeks of work done, but only 2 PBIs completed. So I'm wondering, I know there was a public holiday. I'm just wondering if there were any big blockers that slowed things down a bit, or if these were like all 16s and they're down to 4, or like.
They've all been reduced a bit, but there was the reason that I wanted this to be a 1-week sprint is because some of the work had risk of blowing out.
Okay.
So extra work, and there was at least one blocker, myself, for Ozair's work on resolving the archive work.
Okay. All right, no worries.
This does mean, as you pointed out, limited burn down, only 24%. Line coverage remains at 24%. There was 1 production to global deployment, but you can see that we've started to deploy to the Chinese system, so 3 deployments there. In terms of application health, failed requests have increased from 750 to 1,000. This was actually due to, these were unauthorized returns conducted during our work, our testing. And you can see those here. Total unique users down from 125 to 111, authenticated users 60 to 66. There's been an increase in Chinafy from completion from 69% to 77% by PBI. No experimental work. What went well? Cleared the sprint goal. And an important
thing. Sorry, Han, can you go back up to those epics again? That's helpful for me. So we did some work on that top epic, and the others are about the same as they were?
Yes, they remain as they were.
All right, beautiful. Do we have any kind of epic for like new? I know we've done a fair bit of work on new tenant setup or new user experience.
No, we do not
Maybe
have an epic for that.
okay. Do we have any PBIs about that?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Get to that in planning. Thank you.
So hit the sprint goal. One thing that I approved was in the creation of the SugarLearning China deployment. The web app is Linux. This is to reduce costs. There was only one issue encountered to do with the app settings environment variables. We were not able to use colons. They needed to use double underscores.
Right.
As again, small burn down, partially expected due to nature of task rationale, which was the rationale for the short sprint. As for improvements, Tom was having issues with his camera earlier in the review. He is now getting he is being strongly encouraged to get a permanent web camera to replace
Nice.
his laptop camera.
Tom, I use a Microsoft LiveCam. They're super cheap and pretty reliable.
I stole one Kogan one from the TV team.
Nice.
This
Well
one
done.
is very good.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yuli, are you happy to proceed to forecast?
Yes, please. That's great.
Sprint forecast for 148. The sprint goal will be to set up the China deployment of SSW identity. This is a 1-week sprint. Review to be conducted on the 18th. Attendees as listed. As previously discussed, to have a complete installation or deployment of SugarLearning in China, we need a separate SugarLearning China, sorry, not SugarLearning, SSW identity running in China. This is to conduct that work.
Okay.
We will be continuing work that had been started during the sprint, including the work with the archive. There is a bug with the SugarLearning videos page. If we have too many videos in the YouTube channel that are public, it crashes the page. This item is to investigate that bug. These items have either already been spoken to or they are related to infrastructure. We will be looking to edit the SSW rule on planned outages, and then there's the monitoring task.
Okay, cool. So quick question on, I guess just the direction. I know a while ago, there was a bunch of work that happened on the China branch that we were trying to kind of bring across. I think that maybe was one of the epics you were just showing me.
Yes.
Are some of these items to do with that?
Yes.
Okay. Can you point out which one?
The sprint goal.
Yep.
These are not directly related, but they are working in support of. And then we have the ChinaFi setup alert on site usages. So this is to ensure that people are notified when we get new organizations or new users.
So is that still our main thrust to try and merge that branch?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. And what I mentioned before about PBIs to do with making sure that, people brought on have a good experience or want to move from the free tier to the paid tier or whatever. Kind of similar to what Tina.io does. Are they somewhere high-ish in the backlog? Are they after that epic? Can we have a quick look at the backlog?
Did you want to discuss this after the conclusion of the forecast?
Yeah, if you like. Look, if you're, it sounds like there's still plenty to do on the current epic, so I suppose keeping the current sprint intact makes sense. But that's the next focus for me after that is done.
Understood.
Cool.
Okay, everyone. This is where the sprint review retros and forecasts will be posted, and catch you all next week.
Cool. Thank you, Nick.